Hello people, this is Ezekiel Giena, Sig, whatever you wanna call me. So I did a thing recently. If you, I don't know, if you follow me or if you found this video by chance, then welcome. I don't upload too often, so I'm sorry. But you probably saw in my channel, well, it has 3 likes, so someone has seen this. This kind of videos. I upload this kind of videos. For example, this typical kind.
Classic set at 18th of January 2024 at 4:48. Am I the asshole for not?
Yeah, the typical video where you stole some Reddit post and put it as text with a text-to-speech voice and a random background video on it. So what is special about this, and why am I making a video about this? The issue is, if you check, I left a comment here that says, "This is part of my project to automate these brain-dead videos," called out accordingly brain-dead videos. It's a fun side project using Python and Bash mostly, and I recently finished the automation script using Docker. Yeah, a little information of what this is about. So, yeah, that's the idea of it. That's what I want to talk about. So, the idea that I hate this kind of videos, okay? I hate this kind of videos so much because they lack originality, and I was, at some point I was scrolling in Instagram, I think in Instagram Reels, and I just got caught on these unending loops of these kind of videos, and I was like, this is so brain dead. Who could watch these things? And just stealing posts, like lacking complete originality. And I said, I bet I can automate something like this to show it doesn't need effort. And to show it doesn't need effort, I had to put a lot of effort in this automation, let's say. So yeah, that's like the motivation behind these kind of videos that I've been uploading. And you can check the repo. I think, well, I will leave the link in the description if you want to check it out. So some information. So Braindead Videos, BDUB, is a project that that's motivated from the deep hate I have for those videos where you see all the times on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. You know, the ones that just random video in the back while there is text and a text-to-speech voice reading, exactly what we talk about. So for this project has a lot of requirements, but that's not really an issue. We're gonna see why. Probably you saw, if you read the comment, you understand why, but okay. So you need Python. I'm using 3.10.12, which is already included in my Ubuntu distro. PyAudio, you need eSpeak. That's one of the issues that we're gonna talk about also. eSpeak NG, FFmpeg, LibSpeak 1, Umbrella Voices, Python, and a lot of Python requirements. So this is the important part. You have the how-to. Add to your source video. I need to fix that. Add your source video to your project folder. Now I'm working on multiple source videos, and I'm gonna show you that in a minute. Probably by the time this is uploaded, that's gonna be updated. So this, for the timing, is modifiable on multimedia.py, more or less. So this is the easy part, using Docker. I tried to make scripts that could automate the best I could the use of Docker, because you need to do a lot of steps. So basically I made this script, runup.sh. To execute your pipeline, you just run the script. You use sudo if you need super user permissions for Docker, like I do. Once you see this line, you hit Ctrl+C, and then you copy the file. It will copy the files, close, and everything is done for you. So okay, I want to guide you through how this works. So let me open this Q terminal I have here. Let's clear that a little bit, and open the code. Visual Studio is opening in the Okay, amazing. This is opening. Let it load for a bit. Okay, amazing. I'm gonna move this out of the screen. Move this out of the screen. Okay. So basically, this work is finishing to load. Probably need to minimize this also because I have that transparent background. and maybe you cannot read a lot of it. So okay, so this has multiple parts. You have an ETL process, basically a scrapper that gets into Reddit, extracts the post data by latest, by post ID, whatever you want. So that is in the scrapper part. If you go to the scrapper folder, here you can see the scrapper. Helper is just some functions to help me script things. I have some, for example, some of these I'm not using anymore because before I was storing in a JSON, but I wanted to implement more things like SQL alchemy and stuff like that because it's for a project that I started thinking when I was unemployed. I'm no longer unemployed up to starting next Monday, thankfully. So yeah, I have some functions to parse text and to get the post URL. This is the scrapper in itself. You can check. I try to document stuff the best I can. There are some things that probably I'm gonna update later, that is not really too important right now. And this is what it's returning. It's returning the title, the author, the timestamp, a readable stamp that I use for the text-to-speech voice because the timestamp it's a little messy for the text-to-speech voice. So I'm converting to this format, which is the day, the month, like in letters like Jan, I don't know, Aug, stuff like that, the year, at, the hour, and the minute. The IV, the post URL, the post text, the subreddit in this case is only a MyDiasol for now, but I'm thinking that maybe this could work for the subreddit of news or something like. The idea is for this to be able to be improved with time. So sources, this is new. I'm gonna talk about that in a bit. Then you have TTS, where I have my text-to-speech video. My text-to-speech files. So in TTS, basically I have I create subtitles based on the text. I parse the text. I have some regex to replace those 18F, 18M by 18 female, 18 male, stuff like that. So yeah, I clean everything, I create the subtitles, and I create audio for it, and I create something. Let me show you. Yeah, basically it returns this that I'm storing in a database. Let me show you the important part. For example, I think, yeah, in here you can see a subtitle.json. It creates a JSON object similar to this. So you have every line. So for line 1 you have the text, you have when it starts and when it ends, when it starts, when it ends, when it starts, when it ends. That's the general gist of it. So I can use that to match the subtitles with the text-to-speech voice. Again, this is, you can completely look at this if you care about the code and you care about, I don't know, contributing. I'm more than open to it. So the issue right now that I'm like pushing forward, sometimes I'm gonna face it, but right now I'm scrubbing over it, is that I'm using eSpeak. So what's the issue with eSpeak? The voices, even Umbrella ones, which are the most human voices you can get, eSpeak it doesn't really sound like a human. It doesn't matter how much effort I try to put into it, so probably I'm gonna need another synthesizer for the voices, but for now, as a proof of concept, it's sort of working, so I care about that. Let me see what else I have. Well, I have here in the files, another important thing probably is where is it? The database. So basically I'm using SQLite, that's why you see a database.db, but the idea is for this to be easily modifiable for other engines. So the dialect I am using right now is SQLite, and I'm storing like a local database in there. I didn't want to use memory. I don't remember what. Well, I don't remember why I didn't want to use memory, but this is a good thing for things to work. So I tried to make some comments to make the code as readable as I could. Basically, I have some useful things for validate the inputs that I give to this instance, to the database instance, update update post table, update multimedia table, add post data, add multimedia data, get record for any of the tables, get post record, get multimedia record by post ID. Yeah, that's the gist of it. And well, the models, there are only two tables. Post table, which you have the ID, the outdoor, the post text, the post URL, the readme, the readable stamp, the readable subreddit, the subreddit, the timestamp, the title, the created at, and then the relationship with the multimedia table. In the multimedia table, you have an ID, audio URI. The idea is audio URI, audio URI, and video URI, sub URI. Those three, probably the idea will be you can have the option to store everything in the cloud. That's what I'm thinking, like going forward. But for now, it's doing it locally and it's working fine. So yeah, a lot of things to improve, and you can check some of those that I mentioned in the readme. So yeah, the post ID and the created at and the relationship. So this is about the database, is everything there is to it. I have some basic files. The ETL is just a Python script that uses arguments from the command line, so you can send it the post ID. Local, this is not used anymore. Unfortunately, I think it's also not used anymore. I'm gonna need to double check everything later and parse it out, and runs everything ETL related and adds the post data to the DB. I also have let me see, multimedia, which I was updating. Probably right now you can see here is source.mkb, for example. I'm using now a folder called sources, which I'm gonna show you right now, and from them I choose a random file. I have, I don't know, 3 videos I think right now, and so I choose a random file. So what I do is, based on the audio it created from the text from the Reddit post, I get the length of that audio and I create a video cut from the source video, so it matches the length of the audio file. When I have that, once I have that, what I do, let me see, it has to be here, or it isn't. Oh no, it probably was in the, it's in the editor part. Yes, in the editor folder you can see this file. I changed some things like the font size, and I added a comment I think here because I think it looked nicer. But yeah, those changes are gonna be visible soon. So basically, I create a video, which from where I add the subtitles, I add the text to the source video and the voiceover. And I think that's the general idea of it. I use a lot of libraries. I was showing multimedia. Yeah, that's it. And publish, basically what I do with this one, let me remember. Yeah, so I just create everything. I do the final step, let's say. So this has a few steps. So I created a shell script, which originally, if you check on the readme, if you want to do things locally, I sourced the script and I added to my bash RC, so it was like every function is a command and it's always loaded when I open my terminal. So you have BDB fetch, where you fetch all the data from Reddit, and then you have BDB edit, where basically is the edition part of the video, and then you have BDB run, which runs BDB fetch, and if everything is okay, then it runs BDB edit. That's the idea of it. And BDB last stored, it doesn't look like much, like it's grabbing the last video you stored, the last video you can see in the output, the last generated video, and it's returning like what that video is. It doesn't look like much here, but it's useful to have when you're working in a container, and I'm gonna show you that in a minute. So I created a Docker file. Basically, we install everything, so you don't have to worry about installing things locally. Then you copy everything, and this is new, of course, because I added the source folders as of now. And then you you copy this policy. This is important because each step you have to do manually. ImageMagick doesn't let you use resources that start with an at, and you need that, so you will have to enter the policy, edit it manually, add a comment and line out. And I said, okay, that's a bit too difficult to automate using bash, so I just said, okay, this is my policy, and the machine is an Ubuntu, the container is running on an Ubuntu system, so yeah, I'm gonna just push the policy I already have. So then you run this, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna activate the environment that is already created. Here you have the environment, you install, and then you install everything to that environment. You read the requirements.txt, install everything to that. I don't remember if I'm copying the BNB. No, here you create the environment. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. For PyTTSX3, the issue is sometimes it doesn't work too well out of just installing it through the requirements. So I had to build it from source. So basically, it's clone the repo, move to the folder, and run the setup.py to install everything. But if you don't do it, I commented this here. If 2.90 is not installed before, it fails for some reason. It just fails. So it's included in the requirements.txt, but when this step is run, it's replaced or updated. Maybe, I don't know. For some reason, it doesn't work out of the blue, and it's not really a lot of support for it right now. So that's something to keep in mind. Then the pipeline script, the one that has all the execution scripts, all the commands that I said I sourced, all those commands, that you add executions permissions to that file. That's the idea. Yeah, okay. That's the idea of the Docker file. So when you have everything ready, you still have a lot of steps to go. So that's why I created this runup.sh script. Basically, you have 3 functions. Build and run. This will build a container, it will run the container, and it will execute the command bdb run and the post ID if you send it, or it will not use a post ID if you didn't send it. It will fetch the latest post. Yeah, you can see it here. You build the image, you build a container based on bdb image, that's the name, and then you run the container, you source the script from pipeline.sh, and after, if that goes okay, which it does, you execute the command you want to execute. In this case it's gonna be bdb run, either with -p and a post ID, or it's just bdb run and we'll fetch the latest post. Sorry about my sometimes stuttering with my English. I'm trying to speak out of whatever comes to mind. And yeah, and it's not my native language, but I haven't rehearsed this neither. It's not like a work meeting or anything. So yeah. Then this part of the execution is for the container to don't close after it finished with this. Why is that? Because after it finished with this, I want to copy the files from the container to local. So I cannot do that if the container stops. So I added this line, tail, which is tailing nothing. So it's gonna keep working forever unless you stop it. Now you have the function clogs. This function just grabs the container ID using docker ps and grep to get by this image, and grabs the ID and then executes for you to see the logs on real time. This -f flag is to see the logs on real time. So when you're seeing the logs on real time, you're gonna see all the process, all the video is creating, until you see MoviePy video is ready in editor output, something like that. In that moment, you're gonna have to press Ctrl+C, because as I said, it's gonna keep tailing nothing, so you're gonna see it doesn't do anything else. That's explained in the README also. Then you have the function copy and close. The function copy and close, what it's gonna do is copy the file from the container to your local machine. And how you run this script, you can just run the script, and if you run the script, it's gonna do everything after the other. It's gonna build and run first, If everything goes well, it's gonna check the logs. Then you're gonna have to press Ctrl C when it gets to the video ready. And then it's gonna copy and close, and that's it. You don't have to worry about anything else. Now, in case you wanna run things one step at a time, maybe you want to be able to connect to the container later and check the container, check everything is good, maybe run something again from inside the container, or run some new posts so you can copy multiple files. You can do each step at a time. So you can do you can use the flag -vr or double dash build and run, and basically you're just gonna run that part. You can use BRP, and you're gonna build and run but with a post ID. You can use SL to see the logs. You can use CC to copy and close. You can use only manage speed to run everything in order, but using a post ID. So yeah, now I'm gonna show you how everything runs. So let me bring my terminal back up, and I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna show you first from source, the sources. Here. So I have a few videos here. Let me open this. I have a few videos. Most of them are playing Tenchu. It's showing a little laggy, but that's my machine. I need to update it. So yeah, some gameplay, which I'm attempting to use. This is playing Tenchu with Ayame. I don't know. I think this was, yes, this one is also Tenchu but with Rikimaru. So I don't know if I explained this, but the video code that I create for the length of the audio file that I'm gonna be using is from the length of the audio file, but it's at a random point. So I choose a random video from the sources, and I create a random cut for the length I want. I think this one is playing Mortal Kombat. Well, you already get the idea. Yeah, I was playing Mortal Kombat Mythologies. Most of them are PlayStation 1 games, because otherwise the games I can play in my work computer without having to do a lot of things. And I really like PS1 games. Don't get me wrong. I really love PS1 games. Mostly Tenchu. Yeah, so basically what it's gonna do is gonna grab videos like that, and it's gonna create something like a editor output. For example, here I have some examples. This one, I remember this one. I think I uploaded this one. It's gonna create something like this.
Post on Am I the Asshole by Crazy.
This is the one I uploaded.
Of January 2024 at 4:48. Am I the asshole for not telling my dad's guests that I marinated the chicken with milk?
Okay, you're not, yes. Okay. So now I'm gonna show you how you will run this. So assuming you have Python, you have Docker installed, you have everything needed, not all the requirements of the project, but Python and Docker is at least is the basics, let's say. So I'm gonna use sudo. I'm gonna do every step at a time. Docker. Sorry, no. I'm gonna run my script. Sudo bash. I need sudo because I need sudo for Docker, and this bash script is gonna run Docker commands. So it's sudo bash run app.sh, and if I do this, what it's gonna do is gonna do everything for me. It's gonna build the Docker file. It's gonna build the Docker container. It's gonna I don't know, fetch the data, create the video, copy the local. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it like this once. And you will say, well, what post is it fetching? Well, it's gonna fetch the latest post it can find on the subreddit Am I the Asshole? Yeah, the latest one you can find. So I put a comma in there. Password. So it's building the container. It took no time because I already had built it up a couple times. So you're seeing the, for example, SQL Alchemy logs. Let's see if nothing breaks. It shouldn't. You never know. Okay, some warnings. This is a while loop that I implemented just to know the files are ready, so it's not really an error. So it's logging some warnings I manually put there. Okay, creating video cut of length 68 and something seconds, so 1 minute and a little bit. And here you can see the post ID is grabbing. You may ask, what is the post ID? Well, you can find this in the URL of the subreddit post, and I'm gonna show you in a bit already. If you want to create for a specific post ID, you want to create a video, you can do it. If you want, you see, oh, I see this post on Am I the Asshole, and I want to create a video for it. Well, you go to the URL, you see what is the post ID, and you use the command, and I'm gonna show how it works in a bit. Okay, so writing the video cut, this is the first video, so it's the cut from one of the sources. You grab one of the sources of the 3 source videos I had, it picked one at random, and it picked for the length 68, almost 69 seconds. That's funny. What it did is grab that part from a random point in the video. So yeah, basically this means that if you have I don't know, a few sources or I don't know, 5, 6, 10 minutes, you probably never gonna have the same video in the background if you run it, I don't know, a handful of times. That's the idea. You can use even one source. That's what is already in the repo. You can use one big source, and it's not likely that it's gonna grab the same chunk of video every time. So yeah, I'm using the random library from Python. So I'm using randint to find the first position in the video, and I'm using choice for grabbing the video from the sources. So while this finishes, I'm gonna make myself a smoke. So you can see, writing video output to that location. This is what I mean, we're checking the logs on real time. Once this finishes, we're gonna have to hit Ctrl C, because it's gonna get stuck on the tail part that is making sure that the container doesn't close. Okay, so you can see it says MoviePy video ready, editor output, and that the post ID.mp4. So once you get this point, you can hit Ctrl C, and you're gonna see successfully copied 9.14 megabytes to home seek documents repo brain.dead video editor. This is my location. So let's see, and it closed the container. That's the other thing it does. So you don't have to worry about closing the container yourself. So let's go to this one, 19AOD03.mp4. This is the file. Let's run it and see if everything looks.
Post done. Am I the asshole? By rot signal 5000.
Okay, grab the same one about Ajame.
At 19th of January 2024 at 17:23. Am I the asshole for punishing my stepdaughter for bullying a kid? I have a 10-year stepdaughter who...
I think I opened the wrong one, didn't I? What was the... Oh no, it's the same one I already had before. I guess that's the latest. Okay. So that's what it does. It grabs the latest post if you don't provide a post ID. Now let's go to Reddit. And here let's go to Am I the Asshole? So this one is the one that I was hoping it will get, which is the latest one. For some reason it didn't. So let's grab this one now that we're here. So you can see the post ID here. And you say, I want to grab this one. Okay, so what I do is I copy that post ID, and I'm gonna do the same, but you just add -p, and you paste the post ID. That's the idea. I'm not gonna do this because I wanna show you how it works when you do it like step by step. Let's say I wanna do just build and run the container and the scrapper. So I'm gonna use BR. This is if you don't want to use a post ID, if you want to grab the latest one. If you want to use a post ID, you need to use BRP space and paste the post ID. So let's run this. Okay. This only run the container. You can see the container is running. Sudo docker ps. That's the container. So I'm gonna use now clogs sl. So I check in the logs in real time. Oh, my tobacco opened up. Well, I'm gonna fix it later. So let me see. I'm not really sure why it didn't grab this one by default. When we, well, you know, every time you want to show something, it doesn't work as you expected, even if it works for you. So yeah, I'm not sure. But basically, you can get to any of these posts and say, this one. I think this one will be fun. So go here and you can see the post ID in here. And if you want to update it, maybe they added an edit. They said, edit, I did this and this and that. You can just go and run it again. And really, that's it. You're gonna get the updated part. Let's see how this goes. So I also created an Instagram account for this, only for this. And you can check it out probably in the description also, which is called brain.dead.posting. Brain.dead.posting. And yeah, I uploaded like 3 videos already just to check. So okay, this is finishing for the video cut. I think we're still missing the complete video file. What I want to do is also add cloud, so I have a project that really handles a lot of things, and that will be a good project to have, like a personal project to have. Even though it's a personal project, I accept contributions. Everyone that wants to work on this, it's completely like welcome. Just ping me. You can write me on Instagram. You can write me here. We can chat. You can send me an email. Maybe I share an email somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm definitely gonna have to edit this to make the wait times quicker. So probably no one cares that I'm talking right now. Gatito. Gatito. Yeah, I call my cat Kitty. Kitten, like. He thinks that's his name. I mean, in Spanish, but he thinks that's his name. His name is Anakin, but I call him Kitten, like Gatito, or Gato Gay, which you probably can assume what that is. Okay, the video is ready. As before, we need to hit Ctrl C, and we're out. So we run, we check the logs. Now we're just missing copying everything. So let's use sudo bash runapp.sh and cc to copy and clone. My password. Successfully copied the 27 megabytes file. Wow. It's closing the... okay.
Post on MIS by Intelligent Nose 217 at 19 of January 2024 at 17:41. MIS for not taking her home immediately after period mishap. I was in a tour lab and Magiat messaged me. She said she's in a ton of pain. Her period started. She doesn't have tampons/pads or Advil. She said she can't drive home. It hurts that bad, so she's going to skip class and I need to take her home. She was waiting at my car.
I'm gonna leave
I
it
messaged
so
my
you
friends
can
and
see
they said they
the
were
beating I
doing
gave to
PowerPoint
Dejima
class for me.
in this part.
Some of my classes don't give PowerPoints purposely, so you have to go. But they said they could
Probably you
meet
see it a
and
little
would
bit
record
choppy.
the lectures. The 2-hour lab I was in was trickier, though. I have a quiz each lab halfway through that
Yeah,
is 20
so I'm gonna
minutes
quit it
long,
because you see a
and
little bit
these
choppy.
quizzes are 30%.
I really beat Dejima up that way. So okay, that's it I think. I don't know, now that I'm seeing this background, I don't know the artist for this one, so I'm sorry if someone knows it. I really love this background. I think I grabbed it in some of the stock for free images. But yeah, it's a really nice background and it looks really nice with a classic extension of Visual Studio Code that leaves it like transparent. So that's it, people. That's almost everything I wanted to show you. This video is almost an hour, but hopefully I can edit it and remove the parts that are not necessary. So yeah, probably gonna be seeing you in some years in the future because I don't load that often. Have a nice day and have a nice life.